Hey everybody, so we're continuing on with multiplying polynomials. You'll notice now that our learning target says I can multiply two binomials. Before, what we did is we took a monomial and we just distributed it inside, right? When we distribute, we multiply that outside term. So for example, this 2x, we're going to multiply it inside to the 3x and the 5. So the key here to remember is that if we multiply or when we multiply the coefficients and we add the exponents. So let's talk about what happens if we have to multiply by something other than a monomial. So you'll notice here we've got two binomials that we're looking at, 2x plus 3 and x plus 4. Well, the nice thing about this is that we actually don't have to do anything really different. We're just going to distribute twice. So I'm going to take this 2x plus 3 and I'm going to write 2x, leave a bunch of space, and then write plus 3. And now what I'm going to do is this x plus 4, this other binomial that I didn't break up, I'm going to take it and I'm going to write it twice. So it becomes x plus 4, x plus 4. And so now what you can see is that I'm going to do the exact same thing now that we did before. I'm going to take this 2x and multiply it by x. I'm going to do 2x times 4. And then I can take this plus 3 and distribute it as well. So I get plus 3 times x and plus 3 times 4. So really what I did is I took each of those pieces and ended up just multiplying all of them, right? I did 2x times x, 2x times 4, 3 times x, 3 times 4. All right, well now I can just simplify. So 2x times x, I get 2x squared. 2x times 4, I get 8x. 3 times x, I get 3x. And 3 times 4, I get 12. Now hopefully you look at this and you notice that we can also combine like terms. So we get 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. And there's our final answer. So really, we're doing the same thing that we did in the last section. It's just that we have to break up that first binomial first. All right, now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to call it something a little different now to talk to you about this mnemonic FOIL. So we're still going to multiply this polynomial, this 2x plus 3 times x plus 4. But now what we're going to do is we're just going to organize our work just a little differently. So I'm going to start out, the F stands for first. And so what that means is look at your parentheses, and whichever piece comes first, you're going to multiply those two things. So for example here, it would be 2x times x, because that's what comes first in both of these parentheses. Okay? Then, oops, sorry, hit the wrong button there. The O stands for outer. So look at your parentheses and which pieces are on the outside. So in this case, that would be the 2x and the 4. If we look, the 2x and the 4 are the outermost terms when we're looking at multiplying these two binomials. The I, oh, I hit the wrong button again. Sorry, guys. The I stands for inner. So you're going to look at which two terms are on the inside. So in this case, that would be the 3 and the x. The 3 and the x are right next to each other. They're on the inside when we look at these two binomials being multiplied together. And then finally, the L stands for last. So look at your parentheses and which terms come last in both of your parentheses. That would be the 3 and the 4. So right here and right here, those are the last things in the parentheses. All right, so then what we would do is the exact same thing we did over on the left. Now we're just going to simplify and combine like terms. So this becomes 2x squared, this becomes 8x, this becomes 3x, this becomes 12. And so when we simplify that down, we get to the same answer. We get 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. All right, now don't forget your answer should be completely simplified and written in standard form. All right, now we're going to do a bunch of examples here to really help you guys through this because I know that this is weird. All right, so I'm going to show you in this first example here the exact same way that I did it. Or actually, we're going to do a FOIL one. We're going to do it with FOIL. So FOIL means take the first two pieces and multiply them. So we're going to do 3x times 2x. All right, and then the O stands for outer. So 3x and positive 1. The I stands for inner. So which pieces are on the inside? Well, that would be this -4 and this 2x. And then finally, the L stands for last. So that would be this -4 and this positive 1. All right, so using FOIL, I tried to keep the colors the same so you guys can see. We did the first, the outer, the inner, and the last. And so what you might see, you guys don't have to write this part down, but just to kind of show you how some other people show their work with this, if we do 3x minus 4 times 2x plus 1, what a lot of people do is for that first, they'll do, okay, that's 3x times 2x, and they draw an arrow. All right, and then for the outside, we would do the outside is this 3x, and it goes all the way to the, oops, I didn't write the plus 1. Hopefully you guys caught that before I did. Sorry about that. There's my plus 1. Goes all the way to that plus 1. And then for the inner, that would mean take this -4 and distribute it to the 2x. And then finally for the last, here's my -4 and I'm going to multiply it to the positive 1. So it doesn't matter to me which way you show your work. With a lot of circles and arrows, to me it gets confusing. So however you want to show it is totally fine. Now we just need to simplify. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. -4 times 2x is -8x. And then -4 times 1 is -4. And then when we combine like terms, we get 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. And there's our final answer. Again, I know it looks confusing, but it's really actually not that bad. All right, let's try another one. So I'm going to take this 5 minus x and I'm going to split it up a little bit. And I'm going to do it more like what I did in the first example. So it's 5, leave some space, -x. And then I'm going to take my x plus 6 and I'm going to write it next to each of these. And now I'm just going to do exactly what we did in the last section. So 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 6 is 30. -x times x is -x squared. -x times 6 is -6x. And now we have to actually do some combining like terms and some simplifying and writing it in standard form. So we have 5x and negative 6x as our like terms. That's going to give us a negative x. Let's see, negative x squared should go before that if we're going to be in standard form, and then plus 30. So here is our final answer. For this one, you'll notice it says x minus 4 times x plus 4. This is exactly the same as the first two that we did. So whichever method you prefer, you can go ahead and use. I think I'm going to stick with the method that I just did in number 2 because I have a feeling that is going to be what most of you are going to be comfortable with. So we're going to take this x minus 4 and just space it out. And then we're going to take x plus 4 and write it twice. And now we're just going to distribute. So x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Now on this one, you'll notice that this plus 4x and minus 4x actually cancel each other, and so we get x squared minus 16 for our final answer there. Now number 4 looks a little different. This says 2x minus 5 squared. Now remember, anytime we have something squared, that means we did x times x. So if we have 2x minus 5 squared, that means we're going to have to do 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. And now we're going to do exactly what we've been doing. So let's go ahead and we're going to do one more example with FOIL. So I'm going to do 2x times x, or 2x, excuse me. And then I'm going to do, what color did I do next? I don't remember. Green. 2x times 2x, or I'm sorry, 2x times negative 5. And then I'm going to take, what do I need next? Blue. So now I'm going to do this negative 5, and I'm going to multiply it by 2x. And then finally, I'm going to do this negative 5, and I'm going to multiply it by negative 5. So when we think about FOIL, the 2x times 2x, those are the first terms in my binomials. 2x times negative 5, those are the outside terms in my binomials. Negative 5 times 2x, those are the inside terms of my two binomials. And then negative 5 times negative 5, those are the last terms in my two binomials. So that's what the FOIL stands for. Now, if you wanted to, you can set this up the exact same way that we did the other one, right? We can do 2x minus 5, and then we can do 2x minus 5 here, and 2x minus 5 here. And we'll distribute and still get to this exact same step that we're on right now. So we get, let's see, 4x squared minus 10x minus 10x plus 25. And when we combine those like terms, I'm going to jump down here underneath this work, we would get 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. And there's our final answer. Again, I know the work for it looks really confusing, but this is really not that bad. And I'm thinking if you guys stick more with this method, that it'll actually probably make more sense to you rather than thinking about it in terms of FOIL. It's the same thing. We get to the exact same answer. We use the exact same work. But to me, what I just highlighted in yellow is actually the easier way to process it and understand it. So hopefully you guys are with me on that. If you've got questions, please, please, please reach out to me and get them answered. You guys are going to take one final summative next week in our final week of school. All right, thanks for watching, guys.